We determined that if we were going to start a sanctuary, we also needed it to be a sanctuary for people, and a sanctuary for the soil, and a sanctuary for the fruits and vegetables that we're growing.
Please continue watching to find out more.
If you visit the Republic of Rwanda, you may be greeted with Murakaza Neza. That means welcome in Kinyarwanda, one of the official national languages. Sublime viewers, I am Naomi. The festive people of Rwanda wish for your days to be filled with gratitude and happiness. Welcome to our program, Sweet Farm, a new kind of sanctuary, part 1 of 2.
Sweet Farm is an animal sanctuary, an heirloom vegetable farm, and a tech haven dedicated to creating a more humane and sustainable world.
Sweet Farm is located in Northern California, USA, near the city of Half Moon Bay. It is such a unique animal sanctuary that it is sometimes referred to as Sanctuary 2.0. Let's first meet one of the vegan visionaries who founded the farm.
So my name is Nate Salpeter. I am one of the co-founders of Sweet Farm Foundation, along with my wife, Anna Sweet. The two of us have a background in tech, myself in clean energy. I'm an engineer by trade. My wife is has a computer science background, but works in the video game industry. And the two of us founded Sweet Farm on the principles of creating a compassionate and sustainable world. And we're doing that through a combination of education, inspiration, and innovation.
Sweet Farm's philosophy is educate, inspire, innovate, driving change to create a more sustainable and compassionate planet. That is a very large goal that is expressed in many ways on the farm. Its primary mission is to rescue and care for farm animals. There are more than 150 animal friends on the property.
So animals end up at Sweet Farm through a number of ways. So all of the animals here are rescues from different situations. So we have animals that have come out of factory farm situations, some that have come out of abuse cases, abandonment cases. We even have one hen that was a breeding hen at an illegal rooster fighting operation down in Santa Cruz. There's a couple of pigs that escaped from a production farm and were picked up wandering around as piglets in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Everything at Sweet Farm has multiple purposes and effects. While the non-profit is saving and protecting animals because it is the right thing to do, these animals also do something else. They help to inform people and prompt them to think about the animal-human relationship.
We don't want people to see our sanctuary as a petting zoo. We don't want people to have these beautiful interactions with the animals and then go home and eat a burger or a steak and some bacon without making the connection. So we hope that we can plant the seed. If they have a beautiful, positive interaction with one of our animals, when they leave, they might pause or hesitate when they're about to bite into that burger and think, hey, there's Argyle steer or there's Gizmo. What makes this burger or any of the animals that are grazing in surrounding properties at Sweet Farm, what makes those animals any different?
Obviously, when an animal comes in from a rescue situation, from a bad situation, there's that immediate reward of, we're helping this animal in need. Then there's the other type of rewards where we're educating a child or a grown adult, and you see them have this aha moment of really recognizing that, hey, my dog or cat at home is really no different than these animals in the field. They're just called by a different name, and so seeing people's eyes opened to these issues is extremely rewarding.
In addition to saving animals and informing the public, another part of Sweet Farm's mission is protecting and promoting biodiversity.
We determined that if we were going to start a sanctuary, we also needed it to be a sanctuary for people, and a sanctuary for the soil, and a sanctuary for the fruits and vegetables that we're growing. And when I refer to a sanctuary for those, I'm talking about the fact that we are growing a lot of open pollinated produce and heirloom vegetables. So really harboring a place for biodiversity and things like that.
We are going to take a moment to enjoy the beautiful breezes that move the clouds and make the trees sway. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Be a hero, be vegan, save the world. Welcome back to our program, Sweet Farm, a new kind of sanctuary, part 1 of 2. Many people do not realize that fruits and vegetables, even those that are organically grown, may be fertilized with things like blood, bone, fish, or feather meal, or animal manure, mostly from animal factories. To create a farm free of animal exploitation, Sweet Farm practices veganic farming, which rejects using animal-based fertilizers and manures. Veganic farms use compost teas, cover crops, and other soil-building techniques. Veganic agriculture is also concerned with biodiversity in crops for the health of people, insects, animals, and the planet.
So out here at Sweet Farm, we grow a whole variety of open pollinated and heirloom varieties of plants. A big portion of it is centered around things like biodiversity and providing year-round habitat for beneficial pollinators and insects out here in the fields. So rather than planting one single variety of crop on our entire field, we're providing a whole diverse set of produce that, depending on the season, there's different things that are coming into bloom. So there's constant food for the different types of bees and pollinators. And also it's really about educating people on the benefits of sourcing different types of produce. And part of that is not just for the environmental benefits, but it's also from a culinary perspective. So when you have a bunch of different types of tomatoes or a bunch of different types of greens, it really makes the dinner plate inspirational for people.
The community-supported agriculture program at Sweet Farm allows people to come and pick produce. Dr. Nate Salpeter hopes that they will take away more than just fresh vegetables.
So this is a mango beet, and it is traditionally used as a fodder vegetable for for cows and things like that a long time ago. It's also delicious for humans as well. So one of the things we do with our community-supported agriculture program out here is engaging with people and also teaching them not just how the food is grown, but also the labor that's involved in harvesting it. And as part of that, people start to gain an appreciation for just how intensive it is to produce food. And as part of that, people learn to respect that fair trade food does cost more, and it costs more for a reason, because modern agriculture, in many cases, it is taking advantage of the land and in many cases of the people involved in producing food. So when we get people out here and they engage in it and they realize just how much work it is, that's another piece of the education, is they start to gain that appreciation for the people that are involved in producing food for the world. And it's fun for families, right? They get engaged, and when you get kids out here picking pieces of kale, then all of a sudden you get kids excited about eating kale, right? What a novel concept.
In part 1 of our show, we met one of the vegan founders of Sweet Farm located in Northern California, USA, near the city of Half Moon Bay, and learned about the many ways that the Haven's motto, educate, inspire, innovate, is expressed on the farm. Not only does the charity rescue farm and other exploited animals, but it also has a biodiverse veganic produce farm that welcomes people to come and pick vegetables through its community-supported agriculture program. Furthermore, Sweet Farm supports food and technology firms that are finding innovative ways to make our food supply more equitable and peaceful.
So technology at Sweet Farm is an incredibly important part of executing our mission of creating a more compassionate and sustainable world. We feel that technology is such an important part of doing two things. One is increasing the rate of adoption. Food technology that makes the change seamless and easy for people. So plant-based proteins, plant-based dairy alternatives. These are things that are coming onto the marketplace at an increasing pace, and supporting these companies is a key way that we, Sweet Farm, located here in sort of the hotbed of technology. We're located right in Silicon Valley. We feel that it's almost our responsibility to take advantage of our location and in proximity to both entrepreneurs as well as investors engaging in this space to help these two entities interact, get the entrepreneurs the funding they need to, expand out nationally or globally. Among agriculture technology, we work with companies in the sustainability sector that is helping doing things like closing the human waste loop, which at the same time removes pharmaceuticals and antibiotics from the system so it doesn't leach into the water system, and it produces a high nitrogen input source for growing fruits and vegetables. So you burn the human waste at a very high temperature, and it ends up creating a fertilizer source called biochar that is high in nitrogen, and you can use that in place of some of the animal-based inputs that would otherwise be used for growing produce. So that is an example of a scalable technology that does two things. One is it helps close the waste stream for humans, to consider an ecosystem, but to exclude the fact that humans are producing over 3 billion tons of human waste a year is kind of an omission of our own personal part of this cycle.
It's time to meet the most important residents of Sweet Farm, the animals. the animals have primarily been rescued from exploitative situations like animal factories, petting zoos, and breeding operations.
So here we have Brownie and Butterscotch, of course, two brothers. They're the ones that came out of a dairy operation. But then out in the field here we have goats and sheep that came out of different situations. So we have two that came out of a live market situation. We have a couple of 4-H animals. We have an abandonment case. We also have one that came out of a petting zoo situation. She educates folks on things like animal exploitation for entertainment. So the animals have come from a whole variety of situations of varying degrees of exploitation, but all of them are now here at Sweet Farm and live out their entire lives, free from the worry of going to slaughter and being exploited. We let them be sheep and goats and enjoy their lives and go about their business on a daily basis, but we also take care to ensure that they're getting top-notch care from the best vets in California, as well as some of the best vets in the nation. It's a real team effort to make sure that they are healthy and happy for their entire lives. Brownie is incredibly smart goat, incredibly social, and loves treats. So as you can see here, so he's just going right for it. All right, we gotta save some for your friends. All right, there you go, one more for you.
We will now pause for a constructive message and be introduced to more animal friends when we return in just a moment. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Be vegan, make peace. Welcome back to our program, Sweet Farm, a new kind of sanctuary, part 2 of 2. Let's now see how the piggies are doing.
So this is Piggy Smalls and Piggy Sue, and we actually were contacted about a backyard breeding operation where the family got a breeding pair and did not know what to do with the pigs once they raised them and actually fell in love with the pigs. They realized that we can't send these pigs to slaughter, but we have no idea what to do. So they reached out to us. We went in. We ended up taking 2 of them, but we also found homes for all the other pigs. So it was a really happy ending for what could have been a really unfortunate situation for them. And then this is Spuds. So Spuds and her sister Sweet Pea were actually picked up in the Santa Cruz Mountains running around as piglets. And what you'll notice about them is they have these notches in their ears. And that's the international notching system used by production farms. And so we don't know a ton about them other than they were likely escapees from a production farm, either during transport or loading and unloading. They're such sweethearts. They are able to help educate people about, pigs in the food system and why they really deserve respect and why people should go plant-based and bring more compassion into their daily choices by opting to eat plants instead of animals. Once people meet Spuds and Sweet Pea, they start to realize that, wait a minute, these are incredibly intelligent animals. Pigs have intelligence that's on the order of a 3 to 4 year old human. They just can't vocalize their thoughts into words that we can understand as humans. So it's really great for people to meet them, look into their eyes, and understand why these issues are important and why they should start making changes through their daily choices.
Aren't all the animals so sweet and lovely? They have so many more at the farm sanctuary, around 150 plus, but we just don't have time to meet them all. Before we left, we wanted to ask Dr. Nate Salpeter if he had any more thoughts on sustainable living.
On the agriculture side of things, we definitely promote people eating seasonally. If you're eating seasonally to your location, then again, it reduces your radius, around which that food is sourced. So that's a big piece of how people can start to make their own impact in their choices, even if they are already plant-based, because there's still things that people can do. And something that I think is important for people to remember is the notion of veganism. It's about constant evaluation, self-evaluation, and re-evaluation of what is the information coming in and how can I continually improve.
We thank Dr. Nate Salpeter and the Sweet Farm team for providing excellent shelter to the animals, cultivating sustainable veganic agriculture, and promoting plant-based living to inspire change in people's hearts and minds. For more information about Sweet Farm, please visit sweetfarm.org, Facebook at Sweet Farm CA. Gentle viewers, it has been a pleasure to have you with us today. Up next is the Phoenix, part 10 of 13, on between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May all species forever prosper and enjoy comfort, love, and safety.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/GPGW.
Heaven is watching. Stop worrying.